wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Good evening, folks, and welcome to our Bet McLean Matchday Live, brought to you live from Windsor Park before tonight's game against arch rivals Glentoran. Just before we get started and introduce our guest, just like to take this opportunity to introduce you to our match sponsor, who is Jackie Stewart. Our ball sponsor is Ernie Rogers, and our programme sponsor is Portman Financial People. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, in what is set to be the biggest crowd of the Sports Direct Premiership season so far, just like to take this opportunity to welcome our two guests, Mark Stafford and Linfield Chairman Roy McGivern. Mark, I'll come to you first. Welcome back to Windsor Park.
Yes, no, thanks very much for having me. It's an absolute privilege to be asked up to the game. It's been a wee while since I've been up here, and I just love coming back, seeing all the faces, seeing all the people, just even the smell of the place, getting the feeling for a big game, being in and around it and all. And I miss it massively, to be honest. I missed it from the day I left. So to be asked back up, it's a real treat for me.
You were very eager. I seen you there when you walked through the tunnel area. You just couldn't help yourself but go on the pitch.
No, I had to get on the grass. Just to get out into the middle again. It's been a long time, obviously, since I've played for Linfield on the pitch, but it was just nice just to get my 2 feet on it again and have a wee look around me. But as I say, we have a great game of prospect here, so I'm excited.
And Roy, I'll come to you now. Firstly, welcome back to the show. Thanks very much for joining us again.
Thanks.
And what's the first Big Two derby of the season?
Yeah, fantastic to be here. Friday night at Windsor Park, under the lights, playing against Glentoran. There's no other place you'd want to be. It's always an exciting game. Big Two games. We've all so many memories of them over the years. But it's an important game tonight for both clubs. We're obviously top of the league. Want to stay there on the back of a good performance last week. Glentoran got through a bit of a bad run, but they'll be coming here up for a run tonight, or up for a win tonight. So listen, really looking forward to it, and hopefully we can do the business.
Mark, you've played in these games. Just how much does form go out the window in these encounters?
Yes, well, obviously the years that I was here, Glentoran obviously struggled in the league for those number of years. They weren't up challenging with the rest of us. But if you look at the results, there was very few times that we went there and won comfortably. The games was always very tight at the Oval, and here at Windsor, they came here and beat us maybe the odd time, not too often, and likewise at the Oval. So, it's a massive game. We see the amount of people that's going to be at the game tonight. It has a cup final sort of feel about it. It's that sort of big game atmosphere, and it's about who deals with it the best. The players are coming in here. The Glentoran players especially, under no illusions, the challenge that faces them tonight. They face a very good Linfield team in good form at home, but they'll be set up and they'll be ready, I'm sure, to face Linfield. But as I say, I'm very excited to see what the Blues especially have to offer tonight.
We just seen some of your photos there of some great memories that you had at the club and some big goals, going from the goal against Carback, also a famous 93rd minute winner against Ballymena United. Some memories I'm sure you'll cherish forever.
No, look, I never hide it. You know, it was probably the best 6 years of my life. Come up here, made so many friends, memories, and as I say, it's just when you get into the change room with a group of people that we had in the change room, it was very special. And you went onto the pitch and you fought for each other. We didn't win every week, but most weeks we had enough, especially in the Irish League, to win games. And when you do that, you know you're going to be successful. And we were very lucky to win the things we did in that time.
So just now you've moved into the managerial side of things, just how much are you enjoying that early on at Ballymena United?
Yes, well look, it's not something that I see myself doing so quick. You know, I was happy enough to do a bit of coaching with the youth and do a wee bit of coaching with the first team there last year with Tommy Canning. And then obviously Tommy left us in the summer, and we were trying to get a manager in. I was actively helping the club trying to get a manager in, and it just didn't happen. And they asked me would I take it, so I find myself sort of in at the deep end this season. It's been a challenging season for us. Obviously, if you look at the league table, the championship's very competitive, and you know, with a few injuries we've had now this past few weeks, it's been difficult. But look, that's life, that's football. You know, you have to deal with it, and as I say, it's a very steep learning curve. I take everything, you know, the clubs have been at here at Linfield, the way they do things, the way they go about things, the way they keep the change room, training, standards and things like that, you know. So I've learned a lot in my football career, and I'm trying to implement that in the management. It's difficult, it's challenging, but you know, I had a good education up here under David Healy and his staff. You know, were absolutely fantastic. So, you know, and they're always at the end of the phone for a bit of help as well. So appreciate that.
Roy, I'll come to you next then. As Mark mentioned there, a great servant to the club and he enjoyed his years there. What fond memories do you have of Mark then yourself?
What a fantastic servant he was. He was here at Linfield, and with the few injuries we have at the minute to Roscoe and Bale Hall, what would you give to have a Mark Stafford running out there tonight?
Give me a pair, please.
No, he was a colossus here for us at the back, you know, so strong, but also in the opposition box, you mentioned, come up with some really, really important goals, both in Europe and here in the league. So Mark was fantastic here, I think, and I think we'll love to catch him for another few years, but suppose injury and time catch up with everyone. But good to see him back into the game now at Ballymena. I think he has a lot to give to the game, you know, so who knows where that'll take him in the future.
Moving on then to the team news then for tonight. A little bit of a few injury crisis was talked about there during the week, but it looks as if that's not the case tonight with the Linfield side.
Yeah, big relief to have some of those names on the team sheet tonight. Certainly to see Kirk Miller on the team sheet, Matthew Fitzpatrick. I think they both have picked up knocks recently, so good to see those two boys fit. And it's the same starting 11 as we had last week at Coleraine, so you know there's a bit of continuity there. I think the front four have been playing really, really well, and will cause problems to any team. And we're not conceding goals to the back, you know, so that's all good. So hope tonight we can go out and carry that on. But on the bench, there's a few options there on the bench that wants to make changes. Chris McKee back on the bench, which is good. I know he's been out for a while. So slowly, hopefully, we're getting a few players back. Also, obviously, losing Reece Annette during the week, which looks like a bad injury for him, and that's a pity for the young lad when he's sort of starting off in the game.
Mark, who do you look at then yourself as the one to watch then with the Linfield team? I know you were speaking a little bit pre-match about Charlie Allen. You were looking forward to seeing him.
Yes, well, obviously, you know, you've got Joel Cooper there in outstanding form. You know, like Joel Cooper before he went to England was from Linfield. He was absolutely outstanding. He probably won us the league that year. He was that good in that Linfield team before he left. But as I say, I haven't seen Charlie Allen, I don't know, in many years now. David Healy brought him on to Windsor for a training session with us. I think he was 15 or 16 at the time. He'd done one session before he went away with us, or went away to England, got his move. So I haven't seen him in a long time, so I'm really, really excited to see Charlie Allen tonight. He's such a talent back then. I obviously seen the Coleraine game, I watched it back in tape, and you know, he just looks to have loads of ability. He just looks like a sort of Joel Cooper-esque type of player, has that bit of quality, can take people on, and you know, can make things happen, and defenders will not want to see him coming, you know, at them with the ball. He's very direct and just looks dangerous and looks like a proper Linfield player. So he got his first goal during the week, obviously against Dundela, so maybe I'll give him a wee bit more confidence going into the game tonight.
Roy, the manager mentioned on Saturday about that being the best performance of the season. Would you agree with that?
I think it probably was. It was certainly the most complete performance of the season. You know, we started the game really, really well, took control of the midfield, I thought, and then got the goals at the right time. And the win 3-0 up at half-time at Coleraine, I mean, it's unheard of. It's always a tough place to go. So I think the second half we just bossed the game again, just seen the game out. without any real danger. I think they had one chance in the first half. It caused a bit of a panic, the ball hit the post. But it was really, really complete performance, and I'd say that those front four, the way they move about and change positions, Fitzy's performed well. I mean, he's not scoring the goals maybe at the minute that we'd like to see, but his all-round play is really, really good, and he set up the first goal for Joel, who finished superbly. So the team's really coming on well, and if we get a few bodies back, I think things are looking good for us this season.
Mark, as a former centre-half yourself, you know, Roy mentioned there about Fitzy, he's maybe not scoring the goals, but he's doing all the hard graft and doing the dirty work and pulling defenders all over the place. Just how important or how difficult is that then as a defender yourself?
I know Fitzy's qualities from a personal point of view. I played with him at Glenavon. You know, he played up front, and you know, he puts a huge amount of work in for the team. But as I say, going back to recent history, last week against Coleraine in particular, he stretches the game so much. He runs in behind, runs into those channels, and he put the ball on the plate for Joel Cooper's first goal against Coleraine last week. But like everything he gives you off the ball, you know, his work rate, his fitness levels, and you know, he's a good person too, a good lad in around the change room. You know, and he's a Linfield player, in my opinion. He just needs to add. They keep saying the goals, but I fancy him tonight for one or two. I think, you know, when you work that hard, you do that much, you know, luck will fall your way eventually if you keep getting in there, and in my opinion he deserves one or two tonight for his work rate so far this season. I hope he gets them.
Okay, we'll look at the results in the league table then from last weekend's games. Roy, obviously the standout is our result, Linfield beating Coleraine 3-0, but is there anything else that stands out for you?
Probably results were fairly expected last week, most of those results. Another poor showing from Carrick. I mean, they're going through a real bad run, and you've seen that they came here last week and defended so well and played so well, so it's surprised to see them lose 4 goals. But if you're the manager, I know he's left during the week, but if you're the manager, you'll be asking questions. You know why you can come here and put a performance in and then go and lose 4 at Dungannon. So, but yeah, I mean, our result was a big one for us last week. Obviously, Lauren beat Cliftonville, which I thought they could have dropped points there, but they seemed to do very well in the second half last week and were probably worthy winners.
Mark, what about the form of Ballymena United at the minute? Another big win, especially away from home from there, away to Portadown?
Yes, I was speaking to Jim actually on just the start of the season there. Ballymena didn't have a game. He was up at Dundallan, and I was speaking to him, you know, and was talking about trying to get players in and whatnot, and obviously, you know, we struck gold. Every now and again it happens. As a manager, you struck gold in Ben Kennedy. You know, you can see the quality he has, the amount of goals, assists he's had so far in the season. So to go away to Portadown and win with the run Portadown were on, you know, was a great result for them last week. So I think they've won 4 or 5 in a row now in the league, in the Irish League. So that's not easy done.
And then the league table. After tonight's game, the only team we haven't played, Roy, is the Crews, and that'll be one full set of fixtures complete. You know, it's looking quite good for us, you could say, early on now.
I think we have to be happy with that. The one defeat against Lauren, which I don't think was deserved here. I thought we played really well that day without taking our chances and hit with a late sucker punch. But I think overall, we top of the table. You know, 2 points clear. You know, we're scoring goals. Only conceded 5 so far. You know, I think that's looking good. But I say we'll have players to come back. You know, with players like Ben Hall, Robbie McDade, Stevie Fallon, hopefully all coming back soon. So the squad's looking good. And you know, we may decide if we're going well in January, maybe to bring in someone else if the team needs further help to go on and try and win the league this year. That's it. That's the objective. We have to try and push on. We haven't won it for 2 years, and that's a priority.
Mark, anything stands out for yourself looking at the league table?
Well, for me, obviously, you know, seeing Ballymena, but Dungannon Swifts as well. Rodney McAree, you know, has done a fantastic job at Dungannon there. He is a genuinely really, really good team, good players.
They have been very impressive now, to be fair.
They've been super. You know, we played them in pre-season. You know, he's got fantastic players all over the pitch, especially in the middle of the pitch. And there's a good blend of youth and experience. So, you know, to see those clubs up there, you know, it's great to see. It's a wee bit refreshing, but whether the squad depth will be there or not, it'll be interesting. See if they can stick it.
We're just seeing our highlights there, Roy. That's the goal you talked about there, Fitzy, putting it on the plate for Cooper with an emphatic finish.
Yeah, great ball by Kirk as well down the line. Fitzy found the space there then, and put it back, and Joel does what he always does. You know, he's a great finisher. You put it on his left foot, and you know what the outcome's going to be.
And then, Mark, the form of our opponents tonight, big 2 rivals, Glentoran. They're 6th there in the league table there. It's sort of maybe an unfamiliar position, but they really are, it seems, a team in transition at the moment.
Yes, it's a bit of a mixed bag for Glentoran this year. You know, obviously they've brought a lot of players in, and they're still getting time to bed in and whatnot, you know, but, you know, that'll hopefully work in Linfield's favour tonight. You know, there's, there'll be a few of those players haven't played Linfield at Windsor Park yet, and I'm sure they'll be feeling the heat in there in the change room, because I'm sure they watched these clips of this game against Coleraine, and Linfield were very, very impressive. I can tell you, going forward, the movement, transitions and everything. So Glentoran are going to need to be on the ball to be competitive tonight.
Who would be a player to watch from the Glens, would you have in mind?
I'm very interested to see Dylan Connolly. He plays wide in the right. He's got pace. He's the signing from, I think, the Southern League. He's very direct, exciting sort of player. So I'm very interested to see him.
Roy, then yourself.
But the Glens have been struggling a bit. I think they've been struggling for goals. From what I can see, they're a fairly strong looking team out tonight. When you see Donnelly and Fisher both starting, they'll cause problems. Donnelly has scored goals here before against us. So I wouldn't underestimate them. I think we have to start strong and go for it from the start. Hopefully we can start well, get the first goal in the game, and then push on from there. But I do fancy Linfield tonight. If we play like anyway we did against Coleraine last week, I would fancy us to win.
Just how difficult is it for them at the moment to try and rebuild the side?
For Glentoran?
Yeah.
I hope it's very difficult, to be honest. No, they've gone through challenging times. Brought a new manager, Dakin Devine, and he's helped by Paddy McCourt there. So those boys have a lot of experience, in both this league and other leagues. But the new players coming in there, interested to see Cammy Palmer back there tonight as well. He's had a lot of injury problems, but we know his ability. He did well here. Sule obviously is well known in this league, so they have the players, but I'm just not sure they're playing as a team, and certainly they're not just scoring the goals that you think they should be.
Mark, then, Cammy Palmer coming back, just how difficult a night do you think it's going to be for him coming back here to Windsor?
Well, when you see the midfield three that he's going to be up against in there, it's going to be a baptism of fire for him, that's for sure. Cammy, I was here, obviously, when Cammy was here, and he struggled for game time. He struggled with injuries and things. He come in and done really well to begin with, and then struggled a wee bit with his injuries and consistency levels. And when you do that there at Linfield, you're not going to feature much, with the competition he had in there. So he thought Pastures New was the way for him to go. So, but as a Linfield side of things here, I hope he has a difficult night. He's a good lad. He's a good player, but I'm sure Linfield will put plenty of pressure on him, that's for sure, tonight.
Folks, just to let you know, and just a wee reminder that the game is on BBC iPlayer tonight. And then, Roy, I believe now we're going to move on to the 200 Club draw.
Yeah, the multi-draw for September, so we'll move on to that.
Mark, I believe you're going to do the draw. I'll hold the balls.
So the first prize is for £500 if Mark could draw out the first ball.
What number's Gary Eccles?
You don't want to pull that one out.
262.
So the first prize winner, 262, is Chris Taylor. He wins £500. We now have 5 £100 prizes.
Congratulations, Chris. Thought you were going to put that back in the bag there.
Imagine trying to find that again. 72, Roy.
72.
72.
Jim Neal.
Congratulations, Jim.
24.
24 is Roy McGivern.
Oh,
Thank you, Stop. First time I've come out for a long time.
just as the atmosphere picks up on the ground. That's Roy buzzing for tonight now.
219.
Just waiting for mine to come out now.
219 is Richard Kay.
61.
61 is Ryan Watson. And one more cash prize.
34.
34
34.
is Edward Allen Irwin. We now have 3 Linfield Superstore vouchers.
272.
I can't even remember what my
72
number
is Samuel Stevenson.
253.
253 is the Windsor Toffee Syndicate. The last prize.
76.
76 is Alan Campbell. So thanks to everyone who took part in the draw. The next one will be at the end of October.
Okay, just before I let this go, and we can go and enjoy the match. Mark, your predictions?
I fancy a 2-0 win for Linfield tonight. As I said earlier, I'm excited to see Charlie Allen, and I think Fitzy will get a goal tonight too. So I think a 2-0 win, a Fitzy goal, and a Charlie Allen goal.
Roy, I'll come to you next. I know you were very successful the last time you were on with your
Yeah, got 100% right.
Hopefully it's the same tonight.
These games are hard to predict. I'm going to go for 3-1 Linfield tonight.
Well, I'm going to say 3-0. I think we'll keep another clean sheet because they've been struggling for goals, hopefully. But Mark, thanks very much again for coming on.
Absolute pleasure.
Pleasure. And Roy, thanks very much.
Cheers. Good to have you back, Mark.
Cheers,
folks. Thanks very much for joining us, and tune in again very soon. Thank you.